Hi students, welcome to my new video. In this video I am going to show you what are the guidelines we need to follow while preparing the project report. So these are the guidelines for the preparation of BE or B.TECH project reports. So before going to see what are the guidelines are there to prepare the project report, if you are watching this video for the first time in my channel, please click on the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so that you will not miss any future videos from this channel. And also I am going to upload the VTU updates regularly in this channel. Along with that, I will be uploading the mathematic puzzles in this channel. So please like this video if you really like and share with the maximum so that they can also know what are the guidelines are there to prepare the VTU B.E B.TECH project reports. So let us begin this. Okay, see here. So first one, it is very clear that project reports should be typed neatly only on one side of the paper with 1.5 or double line spacing on A4 size bond paper. Okay, so project report should be typed neatly only on one side. So print should be taken only on one side with a line spacing of 1.5. What is this line spacing? A line spacing is very simple. If I select this line and this line, the line spacing between these two should be 1.5 or double line spacing. So how to check this, whether these two lines are spaced 1.5 or not? Just select these two lines and go to paragraph tab, click on this. You can see here these are the line spacing options. So line spacing should be 1.5. You need to select this. So an entire report, the line spacing should be 1.5 or double line spacing. And what are the margins while preparing the project report? So that is very important. So margins should be left margin, we should have 1.25 inches. Right margin should be 1 inches, and top and bottom should have 0.75 inches. So what is this? How to set these margins in a sheet? It's very simple. Go for page layouts tab. In that, go for the page setup. There, go for the first option, which is margins. Click on that. Go for the last option, which is known as custom margins. Select this. There you will find margins. Top, it should be top and bottom 0.75. You just enter here 0.75. Okay, and left it is 1.25. Enter here 1.25. Right it is 1, it is already there. Bottom also 0.75. You can write it here. Enter here 0.75. Okay, so after entering this, if you click on that, so it will be setting to the margins for the required. Now I have already set, so I will finish this. Okay, now total number of reports should be prepared. So you have prepared the reports, how many printouts should be taken? That is very important. So one copy for the department, one copy to the concerned guides. If you have only one guide, you can take only one printout. If you have two guides, say for example one is an external guide, another one is an internal guide, or sometimes a core guides will be there. So based on the number of guides, those who have guided in conducting or in the successful completion of your project work, that many number of copies you need to take, the printouts. Then 2 copies to the sponsoring agency. If your project was sponsored by some of the agencies or some of the industries or some of the companies, you need to take that many number of copies, and 1 copy to the candidate. Basically a maximum of 4 candidates will be there, so you should take 4 copies individually. If you have conducted the project in a single or in a group, if you are only a one candidate, you can take only one. If you are a two or more, based on that you can take it. So next one is, before taking the final printout, the approval of the concerned guide or guides is mandatory. So you should not take the printout without concerning your guide. So you should take the proper approval from the concerned guides. If they have said any suggestions or any corrections are needed, you should consider those, and after making all the corrections, once again you need to take the approval from the concerned guides. Then if they proceed, if they said it is okay to take the printout, then you can take the final printout. Then for making any corrections, you should take a Xerox first one. For making copies, dry tone Xerox is suggested. Okay, and every copy of the report must contain, so you have prepared the report and what are the contents it should have. So every copy should have inner title page, it should be white blank page it should have. Next, outer title page, that is also a blank one with a plastic cover. And then certificates in the formats enclosed, both from the college and from the organization where your project work has been carried out. Okay, and an abstract or the synopsis should be prepared. It should have only 100 words, not exceeding 100 words. Okay, you can have less than that also. And in that abstract you should indicate the salient features of the work, and the synopsis should be taken 4 copies and submitted to the department on the required date, and you should submit separately the 4 copies. And what is the organization of the report should follow. So how the format should go. First, your report should have inner title page. Okay, that is the first. Second, abstract or the synopsis it should have. Third, acknowledgements you need to give. And fourth, if your project work have any tables, then you should give table of contents. Okay, obviously it would be having, and a list of table and figures that should be there. If you have any list of tables or if you have any figures in your report, then you should mention them. If you not, then no need to mention, it is an optional one. If your project report has tables and figures, then you need to mention them. And all these first 5, that is inner title page, abstract or the synopsis, acknowledgements, table of contents, and list of table and figures should have a page number numbered in Roman. And most of the people, they struggle in preparing this table of content. It should take a lot of time for them. So for that, I have made a separate video on how to create this table of contents in a easiest way or in a simple way, that is within a span of 1 minute, how you can create the table of contents. That I have explained in this video. You can check out this I button here and you can watch that video. Okay, so let us move on to the next guidelines. So chapters must be numbered in Arabic, that is containing, so as I have said, these should be numbered in Roman, and after that it should be having the chapters. Those chapters should be numbered in Arabic letters, that is Arabic numbers. So those chapters are containing introduction, so which usually specifies the scope of the work and its importance and relation to the previous work and the present developments. And main body of the report divided appropriately into chapters, sections and subsections. The chapters, sections and subsections must be numbered in decimal form. For example, let us say there is a chapter 2, in that we have sections. So those sections should be numbered as 2.1, 2.2. If you have one more 2.3, etc. like that. And further, if these sections are having subsections, those should be numbered as 2.2, 0.3, then 2.5, 0.1, like that, etc. Suppose if you have a section 2.1, if you have subsections in this, then you need to number it as 2.1, 0.1, like that. If you have the subsection in this section, then you should give 2.2, 0.1, like that. Okay. The chapter must be left or right justified. That is very important here. Chapter font size should be 16. Let us say chapter 1, that should be written with the font size of 16. You need to follow the font style, that is Times New Roman. Then followed by the title or the title of the chapter, which is centered. So chapter should be left aligned or right aligned with the font size of 16, followed by the title of the chapter, which is centered, that is a font size of 18. Section or subsection should be numbered along with their headings, and they must be left justified with a section number and its heading, and it should have a font size of 16. And subsections should be with a font size of 14, and body should have a font size of 12. Let me repeat this one. This is very important. Chapter must be left or right justified with a font size of 16, and chapter name should be center aligned with a font size of 18. Section should have a font size of 16, subsection should have a font size of 14, and body should have a font size of 12. And all the font style should be Times New Roman. Okay, so that you can select from the home page. There you can go for Times New Roman like this. So this is a size like this you should select. Now the figures and tables must be numbered chapter wise. Say for example, in chapter 2 we have a figure that should be numbered figure dot 2.1, like that. If you have one more figure, then figure dot 2.2, like that. It should be continued. And block diagrams of a serial binary adder, and table should be same case you need to follow. Suppose we have a table in the third chapter which should be numbered with table 3.1. Always remember, figure name should be written below the figure and table name should be written above the table. Okay, and then references or the bibliography we call it as. The references should be numbered serially in the order of their occurrence in the text, and their numbers should be indicated within the square brackets. For example, like this we need to mention. Suppose we are giving the bibliography for the first one, let us say like this. It should be indicated in the square bracket. The section on references should list them in a serial order in the following format. Suppose you are taking the reference from the textbook, then you should mention the author names, then digital signal processing, what is the title of the book and its publications, and what is the edition and when it is published. Same case, if you are taking the reference from the papers, then you should mention the author name, title of the paper, and page numbers, volume, and when it is published. Always remember, only SI units are to be used in the entire report. And if your report is having some of the equations, so the important equations must be numbered in decimal form. For example, like this, V is equal to I into Z. So you should be having the number in the decimal form. Okay, all equations numbers should be rate justified. Now the project report should be brief and include descriptions of the work carried out by others only to the minimum extent necessary. You should not copy the entire work which is already done. Okay, so you should not copy the entire descriptions from the previous work. You should include only a minimum extent whenever it is necessary. and verbatim reproduction of the material available elsewhere should be strictly avoided. That is, copying of the projects or the work has been already done, you should not do that again. That is strictly avoided. And where short excerpts are from the published work, so that means you can take some of the descriptions or some of the contents from the previous work, that is up to a desired level, and they should be within the quotation marks appropriately referenced. Okay, and proper attention is to be paid not only to the technical contents but also to the organization of the report and clarity of the expression. Due care should be taken to avoid spelling and typing errors. The student should note that a report write-up forms the important components in the overall evaluation of the project. If the student is doing a project on hardware, so it should contain the component layout, complete circuit with the component list containing the name of the component, numbers used, etc., and the main component data sheets as appendix. At the time of a report submission, if a student is done a project on hardware, the student must hand over a copy of these details to the project coordinator and see that they are entered in proper registers and maintained in the department. If the student is done a project on softwares, so it should include a virus-free disk containing that software which is developed by them, along with a readme file. A readme file should contain the details of the variables used, salient features of the software, and procedure of using them, compiling procedure, details of the component, computer hardware or software requirements to run the same, and etc. If the developed software uses any public domain software downloaded from some sites, then the address of the site along with the module name, etc., must be included on a separate sheet. It must be properly acknowledged. It must be properly acknowledged in the acknowledgements. Sponsored projects must also satisfy the above requirements. Sponsored projects must also satisfy the above requirements along with a statement of accounts, bills for the same duly attested by the concerned guides to the process further. They must also produce NOC. What is this NOC? There is no objection certificate from the concerned guide before taking the internal viva explanation or internal viva examination. And the reports submitted to the department or guides must be hard bounded with a plastic covering. So separate sheets should be used, if any, between chapters should be thin papers. This is the format of the certificate, so this is available in the VTU website that you can download. And this is also certificate. If you have conducted your project work in any of the organizations or industries, you should give that certificate also. And if you have published any papers, journal papers or international papers, you should attach that certificate in your report. Now let us come to the color format. So color of the outer covering or cover or front page of UG dissertation or project work. Now, what are the colors we should have? For UG, you can see here electronics and communication, telecommunication, biomedical, medical, electronics, electrical and electronics and instrumentation technology. All these branches, in short we call it as EC, TE, BM, ML, EE, IT branches, should have the color of the outer cover or the front page of the report should be purple. Computer science and information science engineering, the CS and ISE, should have a cream colored front page and covering. Mechanical, printing technology, mining, industrial production, industrial engineering and management, Manufacturing, Science and Engineering and Automobile, that is in short we call it as PT, MI, IP, IM, MEA, AU should have a sky blue colored covering. Civil, Transportation and Environmental Engineering, that is CV, TR, EV should have a grey colored covering. Chemical Engineering, Cement and Ceramics, Silk, Textile Technology and Polymer Science, that is CH, CC, ST, TX, PM should have a brown colored covering. Now let us come to the distribution of marks for the BE, B.TECH dissertation evaluation. How actually the marks are distributed. You can see here. Relevance of the subject in the present context, that is 10 marks for that. Literature survey, that is also for the 10 marks. Problem formulation, you will have a 10 marks. Experimental observation or theoretical modeling, that is also 10 marks. Results, presentation and discussion, that is 10 marks. Conclusions and scope for the future work for the 10 marks. And overall presentation of the thesis or oral presentation, that is for 40 marks. So total it is 100 marks. So this is how the project will be evaluated. So if you really like this video, please share with the maximum students so that it can reach to all the engineering students in the Karnataka, that is those who are studying under the VTU. And I am looking for the likes for from your side, that motivates me for doing more and more videos. And don't forget to subscribe. If you subscribe, you will not miss any notification or any videos from this channel. Thank you. Thanks a lot. If you have any doubts or if you have any further clarifications regarding the preparation of the VTU project report, please just comment in the comment section and I will answer your all the queries. Okay, we will meet you in the next video. Bye bye. Until then, keep watching. Thanks for watching.